everything that we developed almost out of our own family needs. So my husband's a doctor and a dentist, and he just had all these patients with dry mouth.
Yeah.
Because everybody that takes any type of medication ends up with, most of the time will end up with dry mouth, and especially if you have gum disease and inflammation and stuff. And so he just came he came to my sons and said, what can we do? And so they said, well, let's get to it. So we started oil pulling with just coconut oil. Well, this is real coconut oil. Like this is oil pulling is an old Ayurvedic method of detoxification. They used to use it for like 30 different ailments, right? The Indians, and they would use it from everything from a cold sore to cancer. That's how they detox the body, was oil pulling. Well, now the oils that we're using to oil pull are processed. So that's where the difference between oil pulling with skinny. Can you see my teeth? I don't whiten my teeth. I oil pull every day.
I want to get into that in a little bit, because I want to go over the applications. Oil pulling is one of my favorite applications for coconut oil, and it is so detoxifying. People overlook it, and I'll go into my story, because I visited my biological dentist yesterday, and she's like, "What's your secret?" I'm like, "Oh, oil pulling."
It's skinny.
No, but first, let's talk about using coconut oil for cooking. Because so many people right now, you even mentioned it, avocado oil. I just saw it was a high percentage of things on the shelves are rancid, and everyone's saying it's healthy. It could be rancid. And then you have so many people that are just realizing vegetable oils, a lot of seed oils, are not good for us. We've been using it forever. That's not good. And, there's ghee is good. But coconut oil, can you go into the benefits of cooking with coconut oil?
100%. When you've got coconut oil, has those lauric fatty acids in it that literally, when you cook with it and you're ingesting it, it has the ability, and to not get technical, it basically has the ability to pass through a different channel and go right for energy. So it doesn't get stuck in your adipose. It doesn't get stuck in your fat tissue. It literally has the ability, because of the medium chain fatty acids. Oils are long chain fatty acids. This is the uniqueness of coconut oil. It's lauric acid. It's all of these acids. It's made up of acids, of these medium chain fatty acids. And so what happens is it's able to go directly to producing ketones for your brain. So as you ingest it, and I like patients, I give coffee a free reign, as long as they're putting a tablespoon of coconut oil in it. Drink your coffee in the morning, but put a tablespoon of coconut oil in it.
That's the bulletproof way right there. That's all Dave Asprey. And of course he does the MCT oil, which I appreciate brain octane, but I use skinny in mine also.
100% upgrade, because skinny is 65% real MCT.
Yeah.
So we're real. We're not lab made. It's real. So why not just upgrade and just throw some skinny in there, and then also just cooking with it, getting it because skinny doesn't have that coconutty flavor, because it's real. So a lot of times how can you open a jar of coconut oil and it all smell the exact same? Every coconut's different. So Luke, my son, which we call him the coconut whisperer, he can actually open a jar of skinny and tell you if it was a spring production, a fall production, a winter production, because they smell a little different. But they
amazing.
Fresh. There's no, like, and even when you cook with them, I can fry in skinny. Like I can fry, like stir fry, and it doesn't have that it doesn't over coconut. I think people get a bad taste of coconut because they've used inferior products, and it does. They put a chemical in it to make them all smell the same.
Yeah. It's got a high burn temperature, and this one especially, I noticed, even with cooking with things, even eggs or anything like that, where you probably wouldn't want a coconut flavor to it, you don't have that with this. And that's the thing, when you're cooking with these oils, just like if you cooked with an olive oil that's really good, it's not going to taste like olives. You could even do sweet things, of course. So the oil itself is very pure, and you're saying it's quite beneficial. What about for digestion itself? Because I have had questions even with constipation, or just I have a bad stomach, oils don't do it well.
Well, and because your gut is your second brain. Obviously, learned that from your dad. And so because of that, this is so good, not just for your brain, but the way that this breaks down, this goes down. So I have patients that have constipation, or like I work with a lot of autistic kids, and they all suffer from what do they suffer from? dry skin, constipation. I mean, all the same. You could just write the book on it, right? Because their cells are not utilizing and they're not able to use the glucose to get where they need to go for their brain and their bodies. That is where coconut oil becomes so important because they're the medium chain fatty acids. So you've got those short chain fatty acids that can get through. If somebody's got constipation, I literally tell them to I tell them to oil pull at night, take 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and see me in the morning. That's it. I mean,
simple prescription.
Simple. And you don't gain weight. Your body loves it. It's nurturing for your brain. The way that we make it, and again, I just keep bringing your dad into it because he really was so life-changing in my approach to medicine. And, it is about the energy. And we do really make this. We are a family company. We care. We're still trying to get better. We're not just sitting on our laurels and going, oh, well, thank God we've got a great company here. We are really fighting to make everything even better.